again. Sick of this face. I don't know if this, I mean, I'm just wearing a sweater. This is a sweater from Aqua Bee, which is a boutique where I live. Anyway, this is a story time. I know I just released a story time, but I kind of wanted to film this one because this happened a really long time ago. This happened back in 2021. So this is a story time of how I got my nose pierced. And as you can see, there's no piercing there anymore. So I'm going to explain to you how I got my nose pierced and why I decided not to keep it. So if you like this concept, if you like this story time, please keep watching, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more story times in the future. So let's get started. Okay, so in November of 2021, I was out with my boyfriend on a date, and we went to the Fayetteville Mall, because Fayetteville is like an hour away from where our school is, and it's like the only cool place, like the only place with stuff to do. Like there's Lumberton, but Lumberton only has like a couple of restaurants, and like that's really it. So I'd rather go to Fayetteville because there's more stuff there. There's a Target and there's a mall. And it's not called the Fayetteville Mall, it's called the Cross Creek Mall. We go in there, and I was feeling very impulsive. Every time I walk in there, I get impulsive. All right, I got this tattoo there on a whim. There was a tattoo parlor. I decided to get a tattoo. But there was a piercing place. And I was like, my mom recommended this to me. By the way, my mom was like, you should get your nose pierced. And I decided to do what she said. Like a Dumbo. All right? So I go into the piercing place. I asked them if they do walk-ins for piercings. Because this was still kind of during COVID, so I was wearing a mask, and so was my boyfriend. Like, we were both wearing masks. The people working there were wearing masks. They also had gloves on, like, all of that stuff. And I was like, do y'all do, like, nose piercings? And they're like, yeah, we still do them. Like, we still do piercings. It's just we can either do the gun. Well, she was like, we only do nose piercings with a gun. We don't do them with a needle. If you had a needle, you'd have to go to a tattoo parlor. And I was like, I'm fine with doing the gun one. She was like, all right, you just pick whichever size you want. If you want something small, if you want something whatever. I just wanted something small. Just a cute little nose piercing. Just something little, tiny. I think there's YouTube videos of me with my piercing in my nose. I don't know for sure. I would have to check if there is one. I don't know if I have any pictures with one. My favorite thing is no one freaking noticed. So I get my nose pierced, right? It hurt like hell, by the way. It hurt so bad because I didn't ask for a countdown, so they just did it. And I was in so much pain, and they put the piercing in, and they're like, all right, so you have to keep it in for 12 weeks consecutively. Like, you can't take it out. You can clean it, so use like a cotton swab and like rubbing alcohol to like wipe around it, wipe the inside as well, because like be careful with touching the inside because you might push it out, and you have to put a band-aid over it when you sleep so it doesn't fall out. As you can see, I have a very small nose. A band-aid is not gonna stay on my nose, bitch. A band-aid, a little circular band-aid is not gonna stay on my tiny little nose. All right, I get the piercing. I go back to my apartment on campus. I show my roommate. I FaceTimed my parents and showed them, hey, I got my nose pierced, ha ha ha. And my mom was like, I knew you were gonna do that. And they didn't have a reaction like, oh my God, how dare you. I was like, because I'm a grown person, I was like, it was right after my 22nd birthday, so like I'm a full grown adult. But I got my nose pierced, and I kept it in for the 12 weeks. But it was bullshit. Alright, it fell out all the time. Okay, it would get caught on my mask, because I was wearing a mask. You still had to wear masks. In class, like all of these places. So I was still wearing a mask everywhere. So it was getting caught on a mask. I couldn't do my makeup without like it popping out. And as soon as you take it out, the hole basically closes almost immediately. Like, even if it's out for like 1 second, it immediately closes. Trying to get it back in, it's so painful. Like, the one piercing I would never get again is that nose piercing. It was such a mistake. It didn't suit me. It didn't look good. I mean, it could have, but if I ever did a nose piercing again, I would get it done at a tattoo place because they would do it with a needle. It would more than likely stay in longer. It wouldn't close automatically. I mean, I know nose piercings close very easily, but the fact of the matter is this was it was like this big. It was so small. And I was like, what's the point in even getting a piercing if it's gonna be that small? So it ended up falling out, and it was after 12 weeks. I had this moment where I was like, I don't even like it. It was such a nuisance. I mean, I had to keep cleaning it, which wasn't the main problem. I didn't mind having to clean it, but the fact that it would just never stay in, that it was constantly like falling out, or it wouldn't stay clean, like there'd be dry skin all over it. And this was before I was on Accutane, by the way. This was before I was on Accutane. So it was getting dry skin, it was getting scabby, it was getting gross. I was cleaning it every single day, like multiple times a day. I was wearing a Band-Aid at night, but the Band-Aid would fall off. All right, so I'm like, what's even the point of leaving this in? So I took it out, never put it back in, let my nose close up. There's like a little bit of a scar, like right where it was, but very, very small. Like you can't even see that I had my nose pierced. Unless you're like investigating or like you already knew. Like you can't even really see where it was. But it was just ridiculous how it fell out all the time. And I was like, what's the point of having this in? Like, I was so confused by the design because I was like, why isn't there a catch on the back of this? Like how an earring is. And I was like, did the catch like fall off or something? Like, why is it so easy to fall out? Like, shouldn't there be a catch on the back of it? Like, it had like a little, like it was thicker at the end, but then if it fell out, trying to push that back in, basically impossible because it closes up immediately. So if I ever got my nose pierced again, I would go to a tattoo parlor. I would not get it done with a gun. I would get it done with a needle. Like that's just how I feel about it. It was just not, it was not for me. I looked terrible with it. No one even noticed it, to be completely honest. None of my friends even said anything about it when they saw me with it. They never said anything. They never even noticed I had my nose pierced. So I was like, what's the point of getting my nose pierced if no one's gonna freaking notice it? That was just my opinion. It's like, why did I even get it if no one even cares? Like, what was the point? Okay? And I know that's kind of stupid, but it's also like, why did I do something and then like there's no point in doing it? I did it for myself, but I also was doing it for like, hey, people are gonna notice me. Okay, I'm very impulsive. Not super impulsive. I mean, I get tattoos and I prefer tattoos over piercings, to be honest. To me, a piercing is, you know, to me, piercings are temporary, right? Because they close up really easily, right? Like, if your ears get pierced and you don't wear earrings like every single day, the hole closes up. The same with like a nose piercing, like a tongue piercing, a lip piercing. Like, my older brother was covered in piercings and tattoos, and I remember thinking, tattoos are cool, piercings, stupid. Piercings are stupid. The other thing I have pierced is my ears. I would never get anything pierced again. I'm not gonna get my nose pierced again. I wouldn't get my septum because my mom says that septum rings would make me look like a cow. Yeah, my mom's not the nicest lady in the world. But yeah, it was just, you know, not a good idea for me to be me with a nose piercing. It was not for me. It was not my destiny, and I fully understand it. I understand it did not suit me. And I'm not upset by it. I mean, I'm fine with not having my nose pierced. It didn't really change my life in any way. I want to know, has anyone else gotten their nose pierced and then been like, this is a big mistake, I'm gonna take it out and just not have it anymore? Or has anyone gotten their nose pierced and hated everything about it? Like, I don't regret any of my tattoos. I mean, I do and I don't sometimes. Like, I'm like, why did I don't regret what I got, I regret how I got it, right? Like, I have this one tattoo on my leg, which is for to play Macbeth, and I love the concept, I love the image, I just was like, I shouldn't have gotten that tattoo. Like, I would love to get it retouched. Like, that's what I want done, is I want to get it retouched and, like, fixed, because it's, like, messed up. But what I would love is if I had canceled the appointment. I should have canceled the appointment. I shouldn't have gone. It was a bad idea. I shouldn't have gotten that tattoo. And there's like, my boyfriend would disagree with me, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't have gotten that tattoo. It's a shitty tattoo, and I should have gone to another artist. Like, I shouldn't have gone to that artist. I should have gone to an artist I already trusted, which I had one that I already trusted and I appreciated. I should have gone to him rather than going to a new artist. So I hate that tattoo. I can't wait to get it redone from someone else. I need the color changed. I need the details changed, because it literally looks like a copy and trace. Like, it looks like a sticker. It doesn't look interesting. It's ugly. It's my least favorite tattoo out of all the ones I have. It's so ugly. And it doesn't even suit me. Like, some of my tattoos, I'm like, that makes sense for me to have that tattoo. This tattoo, I need it redone. I want it changed in so many ways. So yeah, anyway, I got my nose pierced, immediately regretted it, took it out, and never went back. Never got my nose pierced again. It's been over a year since I had my nose pierced, and I don't care. There was one time where it got caught. I kissed Cameron and it got caught on him, so it came out and fell. Like, I thought it fell on the floor. It fell on top of my Starbucks cup. I was freaking out forever, and it was just so annoying how often it would fall out. It would fall out in class. It would fall out when I was in my room, like, cleaning it. It would fall out when I was, like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, it would fall out when I was in the car. It was just horrible. It was the worst decision I ever made. I will never get my nose pierced again. I think nose piercings are cool. They are just not for me. I don't have the patience. Don't have the patience for it. So let me know, have y'all gotten your nose pierced, it worked, or did you get your nose pierced and you hated it? Comment below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more story times in the future. Comment what videos do you want to see next. Do you want to see more story times? Do you want to see other things? Let me know. Hit the notification bell for a new video as soon as this one reaches double-digit views. Well, thank you for supporting my latest videos. So yeah. Follow the social media links in the description below. There's Instagram, there is TikTok, there's Tumblr, there's my fandom Tumblr, there's my other Tumblr, and there is Twitter. And you can check out my last story time, which is a story time of how my roommate almost took me to the ER, and then a story time of, well, my story time playlist. So just a playlist of all my story times, and you can hit subscribe right above my little head. My little head. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.